Turtle WoW Unreal Engine 5. They have not announced when this is going to be coming out. Okay? They have not announced when this is going to be coming out, but I think based on their timeline that they released, that it's going to be coming out right around the holiday break, right around the holiday season. That's what I believe. Okay, could be wrong, but that's what I believe. We are going to be watching Angelikatosh's video about the Unreal update in a minute. But before we watch that video, I want to go over a little bit on the Unreal Engine 5 update, okay? We're not going to be going over watching this video because I'm sure she's going to be referencing it a lot, okay? So highlights. Developed specifically for the Turtle WoW core, supporting all custom content out of the box. All right, built to include custom tools, allowing our team to expand on the mysteries of Azeroth easier. This is essentially why they are going to be doing this, okay? Because a lot of people are wondering why they're doing it. It's not just for the fact to have things in Unreal, right? To make it look different. It is that, but it's also limitations that they have with the client that they're currently using. Okay, it's being developed by a dedicated team, meaning our main content development and design teams will not face delays, right? There is essentially an Unreal Engine team, a Turtle WoW Unreal Engine team, and then there's a regular Turtle WoW team, right? So they're working hand in hand, essentially, but there's a different team working on this that has experience with Unreal Engine and everything to make this work, right? So full original WoW 1.12 API preservation and extended, supporting all existing 1.12 and Turtle WoW exclusive add-ons. It's able to run smoothly on any PC from potatoes to powerful systems. That is a very, very important thing when you're dealing with classic WoW. People don't want to have to buy, expensive rigs to be able to play it. So the fact that it's able to, that they're claiming it can run smoothly on any PC is huge, in my opinion. Okay, it's packaged with the proprietary anti-cheat, which renders all existing botting and cheating software worthless, which is awesome for a community. If anybody knows about all the botting and all the cheat stuff going on, like, nobody likes to deal with that, and the fact that this is gonna take care of it is amazing in my opinion. Okay, cross-platform play supported, compatibility with a wide range of devices, including Android, smartphones, and tablets. Okay, I don't know anything about that, but I have heard about that a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. Now, there's 2 graphic modes. The new client will support 2 visual modes with different system requirements. I believe this is one of those things that is like pseudo a button push, where you can push it like if you guys ever played the Halo remastered or something, where you can click a button and see the original graphics, click it and see the new remastered graphics. I kind of think that it's something like that. Okay, so the legacy mode will look and feel like your usual game. The modern mode will offer all the best Unreal Engine has to offer, including dynamic shadows, superior lighting, and more. We plan to incorporate newer HD textures and models into the modern mode to ensure the game looks organic and low poly graphics don't clash with the modern lighting. However, you will be able to switch legacy character models. Okay, that is really cool. And these are the system requirements. Okay, modern mode system requirements is right here. Okay, there are various different screenshots. I'm not going to go through these screenshots. You can find all this information if you guys want to on the turtlewow.org website yourself. It's under development and down here under remastered client. I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and do that on your own. Watch this video and everything. I really want to get into this video that I want to watch because I haven't seen it yet. I'm really excited to watch it. let me finish reading this stuff though. It says impossible becomes possible. With a new custom client, we can finally change things that were previously limited by the old client. Extended quest logs beyond the 20 quest limit, which is amazing. I mean, in my opinion, that is absolutely gigantic. That is huge. The 20 quest log limit, especially in Turtle WoW, with so many more zones to go to, especially when this next, guys, I'm telling you, when this next Scars of the Past update hits, your quest log is going to explode when you're in your 20s and 30s. Absolutely explode. There's so many quests. Yes, it's working. Finally. Okay, you guys can chat again. My other monitor is working now, guys. Okay, so feel free to go ahead and ask questions. Yeah, that is amazing. Proper widescreen support. It adds an FOV slider. That is really cool. Really cool. Support for DLSS and AMD Fidelity FX for enhanced performance and visuals. Better performance and add-on support. Awesome. Action queuing. So your DPS is no longer dependent on latency. I think that is cool, and I'm excited to see how that actually works in game. I'm really excited about that. Okay, organic multi-language support. That's pretty cool because currently they are really like, it's a big deal that everybody speaks English on the European server. I wonder if that's going to change. I don't know, but it'll be cool for more people to be able to communicate with one another, which it's kind of hard for them to do unless they do it in PMs, right? It makes it really hard for people to recruit on the European server because what if they're from a part of Europe that doesn't speak English? So starting now, the development team will provide regular updates on the new client with a planned release in 2025. FYI, guys, all this information was released like months ago. So if this sounds like something you've heard, that's why. Please be aware that there will be a transition period during which it will be possible to play from both clients until we are sure that the new client works flawlessly. Okay, I see. The client will be distributed for free among Turtle WoW players. The goal of this project is to extend the lifespan of our expansion, supporting the existing emulation software for our software our project runs on. Okay, and modding and streamlined development process. Our approach with this grand client swap is aimed at preserving the speed of our current content development without pausing it. While players will be testing and connecting from both clients, our tools will allow modding team to continue developing their assets using the original 1.12 tools, converting them to Unreal Engine formats later. Eventually, we'll all transition to the newer toolset. Funding. We've poured an ungodly amount of resources into this project. If you'd like to support the Unreal client development and help us recoup the small fortune we've spent, please check with our donations page. Mysteries of Azeroth is free to play and enjoy, and none of our progress would be possible without your support. Awesome. This will be released in 2025, but until then, you can still play on the old client now. Download. Okay, that is essentially basic information on what's going on with the Unreal update. Again, this was released a while ago, but I did want to go over this before we watch the video, just in case some of you guys are kind of like wondering what's this Unreal update all about. Before we get into video, I don't know what she's going to say exactly, so I don't want to miss anything. You know, I don't want things to go I don't want you guys to be out confused about anything. Okay, without further ado, guys, we are going to watch Angelikatosh, her video, Azeroth in Unreal Engine 5, Turtle WoW Plus exclusive gameplay clips. Okay, let's go ahead and watch this.
There's something really magical and captivating about seeing your old favorite game on a newer, more modern engine.
Let me know how the volume is for you guys.
There's quite a lot on this channel, from Diablo 2 Resurrected to, more recently, the Oblivion remaster. I've been pretty vocal when it came to the issues surrounding these remasters, but if we're honest, those particular issues had less to do with how the world looks on the engine and more to do with the creative liberties and decisions made by the people behind those particular
Very
projects.
true. Very
Still,
true.
I can't lie when I say that, especially Oblivion on the Unreal 5 engine took my breath away.
Shit.
It's beautiful and it's
Never got a chance to play that.
I didn't even know I had. But there's
More?
one game that I honestly never thought would get this
Really?
treatment, and that's WoW. An expert on those matters by any means, but something about it just always told me like this wouldn't be possible.
All right, I'm gonna leave it at that.
And then the team behind Turtle WoW announced that they're going to be extending the life of WoW by replicating the vanilla client in the Unreal 5 engine. As fever dream-esque as that might sound, this is a real project.
I told you guys they were going to be using that. This is the cinematic that was released. I told you guys she was going to be using this a lot. That's why I didn't play it.
They've released a
She is
video
very
and
soft-spoken,
screenshots so you can see what it's looking like so far. So today we're going to be looking at all of these and discussing why I think Turtle WoW is actually the best place to see this sort of thing come to life. The game is now in a playable state, and I'll also be able to show you a couple of exclusive clips that were kindly shared with me by the Turtle WoW team. Before we get started, hi, my name is Angelika, and if you've been following me for a while, you've probably heard me mention Turtle WoW every now and again. I actually have tons of comments from you guys telling me to play Turtle WoW. And what you may not know is that I have in fact been living in this particular version of Azeroth for a while now. Semi-incognito, but
a lot of people, I'm telling you, this is what I was telling you guys earlier when we were talking about the update and the new server announcement. A lot of people a lot of streamers play Turtle WoW. They just don't talk about it a lot because they're afraid of getting banned. Okay, they don't want to have to move their community over here or there if they get banned on this platform, so they just don't stream it. Okay. And even honestly, even making videos can be dangerous sometimes because your videos can get demonetized if Blizzard feels like it. So yeah, a lot of people just don't talk about it, but it doesn't mean that they're not playing it. I saw Nixium in the Project Epoch Discord the other day, chatting it up with everybody. So I know Nixium's more than likely going to be playing Project Epoch, and I promise you he will be playing Unreal Engine 5. There's no way, like I said earlier, there's no way anybody like of sound mind who is really into classic WoW and Classic Plus especially is going to miss this launch. This is going to be probably one of the I don't know if the launch itself is going to be as big as Project Epoch's launch tried to be. I can't say was because only like 20 people got to play. But I mean, they wanted to. So we'll see what happens, right?
Recently with a character that's literally called Angelikatosh. To me, Turtle WoW is this thing that has reignited my passion for Azeroth in a way that no other existing version of WoW could. It feels good to log in and just exist here. It does. It really does. The familiar and beloved vanilla content that has us consistently
Turtle WoW is such a cozy server,
WoW,
guys. Such a cozy server.
New content that feels authentic
Gilaeas.
and natural to the world. Whether that's added cut content that never made it into the original WoW, or additional story written by the Turtle WoW team, which is based on and inspired by the lore.
Yep.
It feels really good to experience it, and it's the closest that I've gotten to replicating that feeling.
A lot of people don't like that. The banks. Yeah, a lot of people don't like those cash shop, bank donkeys. A lot of people don't like that. I read a lot of stuff on the Project Epoch Discord today about, and in my Discord today that was linked, about people being really upset when people found out that Turtle WoW is making launching a fresh server. Everybody was just complaining about stuff like this and calling it pay to win. I think it's so silly. Oh, that's amazing.
Of my first ever time in Azeroth. The team behind Turtle WoW have said this themselves, and the biggest thing that's holding them back is the vanilla client.
Yeah, the client.
So on a server where
honestly, real quick, this is one of the biggest, whenever I hear people talk about Turtle WoW, and if they're not playing the client, it's 3 reasons. Normally 3 reasons. Number 1, it's a private server. And for some reason, everybody is scared of playing a private server. I don't know why, but they're so like, oh, well, what if my character gets deleted one day? Like, bruh, did you play Season of Discovery? Yeah, I played it for about a month. What are you going to do with that character? Nothing. Then why are you complaining about Turtle Wow's character? When you probably have about 75 characters between a whole bunch of servers that you're literally never going to log into again. Why should Turtle WoW be any different, right? So that's literally a non-issue that everybody tries to make an issue. So there's that one. The next one is the client. The client issue, which is why they're doing the Unreal update in the first place, right? They're doing the Unreal update so that the client issue will not be an issue anymore, okay? And then the third issue that people... There's other little sub-issues here and there, but these are like the big three. The big three. The third issue is that they don't want to play on a server that is like 7 to 8 years old. Nordinar was released like 7 to 8 years ago when the server first launched, and they just don't want to play on a server where people have been playing on it for 7+ years. You know, it doesn't matter if you tell them that new people log into the game every single day. There's new guilds forming every single day. It does not feel like a server that's been out for 8 years. You can still do anything you want to do any other content, but people in general love to have a say in how everybody else plays their game. So they feel that if there's anybody else that has any benefit that they did not get an opportunity at, they just can't handle it. So there's so many people that complain about the fact that Turtle WoW is only, well, the PvP server is, you know, a little over a year old or something like that, but they don't want to play in PvP. They want to play in the normal server, but it's like 8 years old. So now this new server announcement is hopefully going to fix that. All right. So let's carry on.
One of the main features is the added or Classic Plus content. They are majorly hindered by the old client, which isn't the friendliest when it comes to actually implementing the new content. They do their best with it, but
they do their best. They do really good with it.
The Unreal 5 engine is going to revolutionize the way in which Classic Plus content is supported on.
One more thing, okay? And I want to look at this. I want you guys to look at this real quick. Yes. You know, there's going to be a whole, I'm sure you'll see a lot of pop-up graphics and everything. This is just like alpha footage that we're looking at right here. Anyways, I don't know how accurate to launch this is going to be, but overall, this looks pretty great. This does look so good, in my opinion, because it looks very... the art style still looks the same, and that's important to me. I want things to look like vanilla. I don't want to get into the game and feel like this is some sort of like new World of War. I don't want to look at it and not know exactly where I am in the world. I want everything to look familiar to me, and I think they're really doing a good job of that. I think this looks great, what I'm seeing right now. It's green tea. I'm drinking green tea.
On Turtle WoW going forward. It's going to give them more freedom, and I think that this will mean an abundance of this new, fresh Classic Plus content, as they will likely be able to focus their energy more on the creative side instead of ways in which they have to limit themselves to actually make this work. But the biggest and most obvious benefit for us is the way that the world will look. They've released a video showing us a little bit of what we can expect, and there's a bit of a disclaimer there saying that this isn't the finished product, particularly the lighting and shadows will be further worked on and
Look at
improved,
that. Oh,
but nevertheless, I was stunned.
Gorgeous, bro. Gorgeous.
They knew what they were doing when they chose Duskwood as one of the locations.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I don't know if anyone else is the same.
Duskwood is my favorite zone in vanilla World of Warcraft. I absolutely am in love with Duskwood. Okay? I love the storyline in Duskwood. I think it's freaking amazing. I cannot wait to be a rogue in Duskwood, because that's what I'm going to be playing when the Unreal Engine 5 update launches, I'm going to create a new character, level 1, and it's going to be a freaking rogue. I am so excited. It's going to be so much fun. I would hope if they make it work on Android devices that they will also provide controller support. Yeah. It already exists in a form of a mod and add-on. Well, that's good.
But Duskwood is a zone that I've always felt this connection to. There's something about the darkness of the woods and all of the stories that are interconnected, the general tragedy of Duskwood and Improved, but nevertheless, I was stunned. They knew what they were doing when they chose Duskwood as one of the locations to showcase for this. I don't know if anyone else is the same, but Duskwood is a zone that I've always felt this connection to. There's something about the darkness of the woods and all of the stories that are interconnected.
Yeah, I just love it. I love
the general tragedy of Duskwood that makes me want to spend a longer time
the
there.
more Laudum storyline.
I always complete every single quest in the zone just because I love the vibes, and it's one of my favorite parts of the journey to 60 as an Alliance character. As you'll see from the Unreal Engine 5 clips, you really get a true dark night in Duskwood. Has anyone seen this trend recently on TikTok where it's like screenshots from vanilla WoW of Elwyn Forest, and it's like what Elwyn Forest looks like, and it's followed by these AI generated images of how we saw Elwyn Forest. Yeah. It almost feels appropriate that these images are AI generated because it's kind of like this unattainable feeling at this point. Like, you're never gonna get to experience Azeroth with those fresh eyes again, where you do see that truly amazing side of this world. But seeing those Duskwood clips, the fact that they're real, truly, it's like those How It Felt for Us slides, except we'll actually get to see it, which is insane. It is dark. It's moody. Looking at it sort of makes you feel like you're there. The lighting is, like you said,
the lighting is absolutely incredible. I really wish that they would honed in on some of the NPCs a little bit better. But I'm really excited to see that.
All been here. We've all played this game and we've done these quests. We know the story, but with this new look to the world, you get to further experience this place from almost what feels like the shoes of the people that live in Darkshire. Because honestly, I always kind of imagine that this is what it looks like through their eyes. It weirdly gives a bit of a horror element to WoW. Imagine playing a hardcore character and Stitches emerges from the true darkness of the woods.
Imagine you running through the freaking forest off the road and just getting snatched up by one of Stitch's chains in the dark. Oh man, that would freaking just, yes, scare the crap out of me. I cannot, because there's parts in freaking, there's parts in World of Warcraft that scare me sometimes, where I just jump, especially in hardcore. I just jump real quick if like I turn around and see an enemy in front of my face or something spawns on me on hardcore. Oh, I get spooked really easily because I don't want to lose my character. But in freaking Unreal, oh, it's gonna be literally unreal. It's gonna be awesome. I'm honestly considering doing a playthrough on Unreal when it launches with like no quest helper, no nothing, and just going through completely blind. Although, I mean, I've played Turtle WoW so many times, like done so many, I just don't think that it's gonna, I don't feel like I'm really gonna get that just the effect that I'm looking for, you know?
Barely visible and lit up by the dim lights that hang in the town. Ashenvale is another place that they showcased here. And I mean, again, the engine gives it such a mystical and ethereal quality, but at the same time, kind of formidable too. It really makes you think about the Night Elves as a race and why they are Night Elves. Shadow melding here would make you truly disappear.
Yeah.
Become one with this gloomy...
Dude, imagine going through here and just getting ganked by a freaking rogue. Oh my god, that would be amazing, dude. That'd be freaking amazing, bro.
Forest. It's a change to the world.
Talk about skulking in the shadows,
the entire race of Night Elves in a different light. And then you realize that this is only scratching the surface. Because if we focus even just on the zones that are meant to be dark, like
Gilaeas is going to be amazing,
or Deadwind Pass, this makes me want to explore them top to bottom again. the Karazhan Tower, the Agamand Mills. Even though Classic WoW and Vanilla are majorly focused on the journey while leveling anyway, this will make it even more interesting because you're gonna be rediscovering.
Just really quick, guys, just to throw this in there, for some of you guys who have not played Turtle WoW has added a lot of zones that are dark, a lot of zones that are like Tirisfal Glades, that are like dark Duskwood, you know, that are like Silverpine Forest. They've released, and they are releasing. This next update has like 2 dark zones being added to the game. So the whole darkness of World of Warcraft. This is what I like about Turtle WoW so much that I have not seen in a lot of the other World of Warcraft private servers. Is this really feels like a world at war. It really does. There's lots of just it's the role play is so awesome in these worlds. And I'm not talking about the role play, like the role play communities and everything. Those are cool too. I'm just talking about the way it feels and to immerse yourself in these zones is so cool. Let me go back a tad.
More interesting because you're gonna be rediscovering the world in a way that you never could before this. You are going to be going to all those corners with all those potentially annoying quests that you would otherwise skip to fully discover the map because you're gonna want to see what it looks like. That combined with the general essence of Turtle WoW and how the community is really reminds me of WoW from years ago. I think that in our lifetime, this is probably the closest that we will all get.
It's a really good community, guys. It really
WoW
is.
For the first time. From the screenshots that they've shared so
Look
far,
at that.
it looks like
Look
they're
at
doing
that.
a stunning job. It's very pleasant to look at, and I won't be surprised if this drives a whole new audience to WoW because of the more modern feel.
Yeah.
Kind of like how with the Oblivion remaster, a lot of people that had only experienced Skyrim prior to this and had never actually played Oblivion because of how dated it looks, went back and they were able to experience the story and the world thanks to that remaster. And one of the main issues that I've heard deters people from trying Vanilla, whether they are retail players or just somebody that's never tried WoW in the first place, is the fact that it looks really dated and they cannot get past that feeling. Not just with the vanilla client, but
that's
I've heard people say that
OSRS.
even with the Wrath client.
That's OSRS.
It makes them feel a similar way. It just looks really old, especially if you're used to newer graphics at this point. So I can see this being the thing that actually motivates a lot of people to give it a go and potentially fall in love with the world.
Honestly, this could also be the game that really, or it could also be the update that finally gives Blizzard that kick in the butt that they need to fire a whole bunch of people and hire a bunch of people who are not mentally ill. Let's continue.
And also, on the topic of this just feeling better than the vanilla client, we've already talked about how it's easier for the team to implement new stuff.
Yeah, look at that. That
but
just looks great. That looks so good.
They're promising a ton of quality of life updates, with my favorite being the likes of an extended quest log, so being able to carry more than just the current 20 quest limit. As a quest hoarder, I wholeheartedly approve. They're going to have a proper widescreen support, an FOV slider, better add-on support, better multi-language support, which is another super great thing about Turtle WoW and how universally accessible it is. They recently launched their South American server, for example, and it looks like the future is bright in terms of supporting communities beyond just English speakers. I really appreciate that. As somebody who speaks 3 languages, I think it's great that they're expanding in this way. But there's a crazy element that I haven't mentioned yet. Cross-platform support. Making it compatible with Android smartphones and tablets.
That is very interesting.
Huge. And like the general idea of WoW on Unreal Engine 5, this is something that I never thought possible. As a kid, I could only dream about being able to play WoW on the go. If you're a commuter as well, this is so for you. On the other side of things, if you are a purist like me and you're worried that you're not really gonna like the new HD textures or updated character models that they have to have in order for them to actually look good on the cloud, client, there are options for you as well. First of all, you can switch to the legacy character models. For someone like me, that's super important because I'm a big fan of the old janky character models. But you will also have access to legacy mode, and that will just
I don't mind if they use the same art style and HD the characters. But what I don't like is when they do what they did in like Mists of Pandaria and completely change the faces of all the characters and like make the noses all really big and round, and they make the characters look really weird cartoon characters, and everybody runs like the running animation is different. People are no longer running, they're like hopping everywhere they go. It looks like such a freaking joke. It's a joke. So that's why when I was looking at those models, I was like, yes, I want to be looking at something that's highly recognizable. I want to know what I'm looking at and say, yes, that is a Tauren. I don't want there to be any mistaking what something is. Because I definitely, when this comes out, I don't want to click back at the original graphics except for to just be happy at the difference. You know? Yeah, they went over the top in cartoonish
models, but you will also have access to legacy mode, and that will just retain the old look of WoW as you know it. So if it's something that's putting you off, it shouldn't really be an issue. Now, I want to talk about why I'm so positive about this in the context of Turtle WoW. Honestly, I think that there's no better place for Azeroth to take the leap.
All right, we'll hear hers and then we'll do mine.
In the beginning of the video, I mentioned the Oblivion remaster and how I have, again, been vocal about certain issues that I have with it, and mostly those issues aren't related to the idea of the game on that engine, but more so some of the decisions that were made, which I think took away from an authentic Oblivion experience. They didn't ruin the game, but it certainly kind of had me questioning certain parts of it, which it did kind of suck.
I feel the exact same way.
The thing with Turtle WoW is I would trust them to do a good job with it. And
I was just going to say that on my thing.
And true to our beloved Azeroth. This is a team that's dedicated to preserving that very feeling that we all had way back then.
Okay, I'm going to pause it now, and just because I feel like I don't want to feel like I'm biting off of everything she's saying, so I'm just going to do mine so it doesn't seem like I stole all of her things, okay? The reason why why I think Turtle WoW is the right team to be doing this is because I've played not a ton of private servers for World of Warcraft, but enough of them to get a good idea of how I feel about the team itself. Okay, I haven't really played. I played the alpha or something like that of Project Epoch, and I've seen videos of it. I've looked up information of it, and I know what they're doing. I know the design of it. Okay, and I played Project Ascension, and I really enjoyed it for what it was. But like, again, they're doing a Classic Plus that they're working on right now, Bronzebeard, and it's just not Classic Plus. It's just not Classic Plus. It looks like a custom Classic World of Warcraft server. That's what it looks like to me. It does not look like Classic Plus. I think Classic Plus is specific. When you go into Classic Plus, there should be no mistaking of exactly what it is that you just logged into. You should know specifically that that's what it is within the first few seconds. You should know you're playing in Classic Plus, okay? If you don't, it's because it's not Classic Plus, okay? Classic Plus should be essentially vanilla World of Warcraft with added content, as if instead of going into the Outlands and fighting the Burning Legion, they continued to develop on the world that was already there. That is what Classic Plus should be. New zones, new dungeons, new raids, maybe new abilities, maybe some new races, maybe some new classes, maybe a little overhaul of this system, maybe additional, some new professions or updated professions, things like that. But the things that are iconic to what is vanilla, like shamans being on the Horde and paladins being on Alliance, things that are iconic, right? That do not happen until you go further on in the game, should be on a Classic Plus server. That's why one of the things that upset me about Project Epoch is that they're doing, you know, Horde Paladins and Alliance Shamans. That is not Classic Plus to me. You know, it's just not. I don't like the idea of. I think it's extremely important to have a passion for what is classic and to respect the source material. And I believe that Turtle WoW does such a good job of this. Because of that, I trust them with an Unreal update because I think that they'll do it right. I don't feel that any of these other servers, while I would definitely move heaven and earth to play it, and I would be there for it, and I would 100% support it, I wouldn't trust them with it the way I would trust Turtle WoW with it, because I believe that they have it in their heart and in their soul. Okay? That's how I feel about Turtle WoW. I don't care about the, you know, one of the devs did this in the past and blah, 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 and it's like a shady character did something that I heard. I don't care. Because I played Turtle WoW and it's freaking fantastic. And I've never experienced any of that shadiness. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like the flying mounts in Turtle WoW are... There are no flying mounts in Turtle WoW. There's no flying mounts in Turtle WoW. You must have seen something wrong. So there's no flying mounts in Turtle WoW. I saw you flying a griffin into Stormwind. That's not the same thing. There is a little quest that you can do. There's little quests that you can do that allows you to fly a griffin for 30 seconds. It's just meant to be a little short, little cute thing, right? Like the turtle mount that you can quest at 18 from the Darkmoon Fair. You know, it only goes like 20% speed. So it's not really a mount, but it's a mount. You know what I mean? People don't really use it that much. I mean, some people do because it's like a little cute thing, but it's just kind of like something that's fun to do, but it's not the same thing. It's not like the same thing as a flying mount. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just like a little quest thing that you fly for 30 seconds and it's gone. But I could totally see how you could see that as a flying mount. Can totally see that. So I'm gonna rewind this a little bit because I talked a little bit longer than I thought I was going to about this. A
little bit.
But I will say that like I said, I just trust Turtle WoW to make this content.
In some cases. The thing with Turtle WoW is I would trust them to do a good job with it and keep things feeling.
Okay, last thing, sorry. I just want to touch on something else. Another reason why is because they have a proven track record. Okay, and that's very like also like when I'm thinking in my mind about do I want to play Project Epoch or do I want to play like if it comes between continuing with my Project Epoch character when the new Ambershire server launches or playing Ambershire server on launch day. What do I want to do? Do I want to keep on playing Project Epoch or do I want to go in and create a character on Ambershire? I'm going to create a character on Ambershire. I think it would just be silly for me not to, because like I said, Turtle WoW has a proven track record of making a quality product. Okay. And, they haven't upset me yet. I mean, obviously there's some things that I wish they would do differently, but that's in any game that you ever play. Any game that I play, I have little things that I can nitpick that I want them to do differently. And maybe I'll make a video about that someday. But that's not for today.
Feeling authentic and true to our beloved Azeroth. This is a team that's dedicated to preserving that very feeling that we all had way back then, but also presenting us with an almost alternate reality where we're still as young as we were then, discovering an extension of WoW that we could only really dream of. Like I said, they've implemented cut content as well as a lot of brand new story and zones that are based on and inspired by the lore.
There's a lot of content that was never finished in the game. This is Gilaeas, by the way, guys, that she's showing right here. This is Gilaeas. Another zone that's going to look freaking amazing with the Unreal update. Gilaeas is like the most favorite time that I ever had in Turtle WoW yet was when I was playing with Cynics, Taki, my girlfriend, and Nergy. And we were playing, the 5 of us. We played from level 1 to level 50 something, and then we ended up going to the PvP server, which was a huge mistake, but that's neither here nor there. And I remember when we played Gilaeas, the zone, the day that the zone launched, they disabled all of the quest helper add-ons when Gilaeas launched, so that everybody could go into, and this is another reason why I trust Turtle WoW. They disabled all quest helper add-ons when the server launched because they wanted people to go into Gilaeas authentically and not know where anything was. So they had to actually explore and discover that you go into the zone and you don't know where the quests are. You don't know where the flight paths are. You don't know where you have to physically read each and every single quest and find things and explore things to uncover them and beat the zone organically. And that's something that I have not seen other World of Warcraft private servers do. And I really hope that they still do this on the 15th when the new update happens. I hope they do the exact same things for those new zones, because I'm so excited to go into Northwind and Baelor and Grim Reaches and the Grim Reach rather, and do all these dungeons without knowing where anything is and just discovering it for myself. I'm so okay. Well, clearly, if you guys watch the content I did earlier, you have an idea where everything is because you watched the video and we kind of went through it and we found on the map where all these places are going to be. So, I mean, there is that, but still, it's going to be so fun to go into this and go in authentically for the first time. I am so stoked and I can't wait.
Only really dream of. Like I said, they've implemented cut content as well as a lot of brand new story and zones that are based on and inspired by the lore. It doesn't feel out of place. Whatever way they've worked these new elements into the world doesn't take you out of it. It's all
Gilaeas.
done in the spirit of a true classic plus that, in my opinion, not even Sod could achieve. If you've been following my videos for a while, especially the Elder Scrolls ones, you'll know that I'm not really the biggest fan of mods. I appreciate that they exist. I really appreciate the community behind them because I think that they have a really big part in keeping those games that I love so much alive for so long. But aside from some quality of life updates, I generally just stay away from mods. I never really mod my games. Something about modded content just takes me out of the world, and it's nothing to do with the talented creators behind the mods. It's purely a personal issue. Which is why I initially was a skeptic with Turtle WoW when I heard about all of this added and new content that wasn't actually part of the original vanilla.
Yeah.
I was worried that it would make me feel the way Skyrim mods make me feel. But it wasn't like that at all. It's seamless to the point that sometimes I forget whether or not a thing was actually part of original WoW or not. They have such a skillful way of writing and implementing this new content that doesn't make it feel like fan fiction, but just
well, because it's not fan fiction. That's important to know. They actually use lore from other Warcraft games and Warcraft books. You know, there's a whole series of books that have been written, many different ones, right? So all this that they're all the lore, the zones, the NPCs, the dungeons, stuff like all this stuff has been previously talked about and mentioned in some way or another.
The natural, organic part of Azeroth. I'm confident that the move to the Unreal 5 engine is exactly the treat that it promises to be, without any unnecessary changes implemented to satisfy a quota or impress some investors. I think it's in good hands, and I'm really excited for their 2025 launch. In the meantime, however, there are still a lot of reasons to check out Turtle WoW right now. The main one, of course, is that I may or may not be playing on it. But aside from that, the upcoming 1.18 patch is really exciting.
Yeah, we went through this earlier.
New zones and instances
very excited for this.
To expanding old zones with fresh corners to explore. Now is a really great time to get into Turtle WoW, whether you're a WoW veteran or a brand new player, because you will likely be on equal footing when it comes to discovering all of this content that is yet to come. This is an ever-fresh realm. There are always new players here, starting zones always see traffic, but especially right now is a particularly busy time if you were thinking about getting started. If you're worried about stability, I'll just mention that Turtle WoW has been online since 2018, and they've never really had any significant or prolonged downtime. You're not going to see any queues if you go to play right now, despite quite a high population even during off-peak hours. I mentioned that they recently opened their South American server, which peaked at about 10k players without any lag or crashing, so you can imagine the sort of technology that you're working with here. And like I said, just in time for 1.18, this is a really good time. Besides the major expansion to the world, they've also added things like class balance changes.
No, they have high elves. Turtle WoW has high elves. Well, you could honestly say it's a lot more lore friendly than Blood Elves, right? Or it's a different timeline, right? It's a different timeline. So they have high elves. Before they became Blood Elves, I believe it is something like that. Yeah.
And just a lot of other general
alliance.
things in between,
the high elves
which
are
I
alliance.
recommend you check out.
The Horde has the Horde has goblins, and the Alliance has high elves.
I'll have the link to the changelog in the description of this video. If you're already playing on the server, I would love to hear your thoughts on it in the comments below. If you're new to it, however, I have a link in the description to where you can register and download the client. Once you've got the launcher, it's really easy to install it from there, and you'll be able to start playing straight away. And hopefully I will see you guys out in the world. But for now, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. As always, big shout out to my lovely channel members. Thank you guys so much. And I'll see you all in the next video. Be seeing you. Bye.
All right, great video. I will go ahead and link it for you guys. Make sure to give her a like. Awesome video.